Since everybody, just about everybody, is juicing now, juicing seems to have sort of taken on a whole new life all over America. All these, I think in just my neighborhood, 5 new juiceries have cropped up over the last year. So it's big, and I'm really glad it is, because juicing is obviously so healthy. But here's a little tip. It's actually a composting tip that I wanted to give to you, because it occurred to me that when we juice, we create all of this pulp. And where does the pulp go? So here's my juicer. I have so many behind me, as you can see. I have so many juices and blenders, and anyway. So I have just juiced. There is all the pulp from my juice. And the thing is, I can either put it down my waste disposal, but that's a lot of water and a lot of energy that I'm using just to get rid of this. I can put it in the trash, goes to landfill, not so good. But the fact that this can turn into some of the sort of most rich and beautiful compost, which will fertilize my yard or somebody else's yard, is awesome. And so this is how I do it. Now I have this thing, this little sort of compost scrap gatherer, which I think is quite genius. Now it's from a company called Full Circle. And why I think it's genius is because it allows your compost scraps to sit for a while in your kitchen without getting stinky. And the reason why, you see some of the compost caddies and things have a carbon filter in the lid, but still it can get a little whiffy in there after a few days. Not with this, because it's so well ventilated. So it has all these ventilation slots along the bottom, and the lid is covered with these little ventilation holes. So everything is completely aerated all the time. Now the other thing is that inside you line it with a compostable bag. So you can get these little bags now from a number of different stores. Whole Foods, I know, sells them. So you just pull off a little compostable bag, and then you easily insert it and line it in this little caddy, for want of a better word. Now what I do when I've got all my pulp is simply I empty it into this, like so. Boom, done. It's all in there. And add as the days go by. So if I'm juicing every day, maybe after about 5 days of juicing, I will have enough in there that it's ready to be emptied. Now when it's ready to be emptied, what do? Well, there's a number of different things I can do because of this little bag system. So if I'm not ready to go to my compost bin, or if I live somewhere like in a big city where I do not have a compost bin, I might want to save those scraps. So I simply just take out the bag and I put it in my freezer and just freeze them until such time that I can maybe find a farmer's market. Should Google where there is one. I know there's one in New York City at the Union Square Green Market. But they've probably got them all over the country, little stores that accept compost, which is genius. So you can take it there and know that your scraps will be put to good use. For me, I do have a compost bin, so what I do is I just remove the little bag, and it's really easy to remove, like so, and I take it down to my compost bin. Now here's the other little tip that I personally do. If you put these compostable bags into the compost bin, depending on the conditions of your compost bin, they take quite a long time to actually degrade. For me, I think after about 7 or 8 months, I could still see bits of bag. So I don't love that. So what I do is I simply empty the contents of the bag into my compost bin. And then I keep the bag and I just roll it up and I use it as a doggy poop bag. So it gets 2 uses out of 1 that compostable bag. So that's what I do. So if you are an avid juicer like myself, or if you're just getting into juicing, regardless of what kind of juicer you use, whether it's a centrifugal one like the one behind me, this is a Breville juice fountain, or whether you have one of the fantastic cold press juicers, all that pulp has to go somewhere, and I highly recommend that you start composting it.